Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity of London. So we're grateful that everybody can show up here today. And so as we come together this morning, we are grateful for the opportunity to spend this time with our Unity community. We welcome those people who are online, who may watch later, and especially those who are physically at Unity of London. We are delighted to those who are attending in person. So this week, Sunday, December the 5th, is our second week of Advent, our second day of Advent. So I'm going to read from our Advent book today, for December the 5th, 2021. And it is the second week of Advent is peace. And so today, this article is by Reverend Teresa Burton. And she said, I used to fall into an easy trap at Christmas time. I would get so wrapped up being busy, Christmas would turn into something to do, not something to enjoy. It was a mostly happy pressure. I enjoyed shopping for gifts, cooking my favorite holiday dishes, sending Christmas cards, and doing more socializing in a month than I did in a year. 1 year it caught up with me. I felt frazzled and grumpy. With each passing day, I felt myself slipping further and further behind everything that I needed to do. The more focused and efficient I tried to be, the more irritable I became. I was running out of time, chasing an idea of perfection that mattered only to me. I had committed to attending a Christmas Eve church service, but I wasn't in the mood. I settled in my seat, but felt restless. I sang the familiar songs and heard the familiar scriptures. It was all lovely, but my mind kept drifting back to the unwrapped gifts, the unsent Christmas card, and all of the errands that I had run out of time to do. I was about to realize I had sacrificed peace on the altar of perfection. After the service, I stepped outside and walked toward my car. I was calmed by the fullness of the quiet and the stillness of the chilly air. Driving home, I slowed to appreciate the lights adorning houses, the colorful Christmas trees in windows, and luminarias lining several long driveways. For the first time in weeks, I felt captivated and wholly present. In that moment, I remembered singing, not even an hour before, Silent night, holy night, all is calm. All is bright. And it was. I've kept the gift of that experience. I realized that night that peace wasn't perfection. Peace is presence. Peace is attention. Peace is not getting rattled over things that don't really matter. Now I do my best, but I do not worry about doing everything perfectly or getting it all done. I am no longer running that race, and I'm at peace. And so from Job 22:21, agree with God and be at peace. In this way, good will come to you. And on this very day in Advent, we affirm and we remember, I can always choose peace. So this morning we call up Lois to light our previous candles, and this week also light the peace candle. So thank you very much, Lois, for that. We're very grateful that you were to us. second week of Advent, and we bless everyone attending all spiritual gatherings, knowing that there are many paths to the one God. We bless all those watching online and all those at home who are using this day to take care of themselves or their families. We bless our fellow Unity organizations, Unity in Motion and Unity of Edmonton. And so as we move forth into this day, we understand and affirm that I am one with all that is. And so it is, and so I let it be. And so today we read our vision statement. So our vision statement for Unity of London and a lot of unities throughout the world is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And our vision statement, which is coming up shortly, or our mission statement, which is coming up shortly rather, is co-creating with spirit to transform lives through shared spiritual awakening. And we think about that. So how do we do that? And we do that by being a loving, inclusive, supportive community for Unity of London and for all of the unities worldwide. We promote our self-expression in terms of speaking out about what our beliefs are. And we also do that by living what we believe, the 5 principles, knowing that there is only one power, one presence in the world, God the good. And we do that by inspiring people to make a positive difference in the world. And in this second week of Advent peace, which I was talking about previously, hopefully what we can do is we can find peace in our hearts. And by doing that, we can be the beings of peace throughout the people all around us, just blessing people with peace. And we do this by providing fellowship and education for spiritual seekers of all walks of life. So afterwards, of course, we have our prayers are available for you. And so if you would like one-on-one prayer, for those of you who are at 501 Nelson, Sylvia Vanderhook is your prayer chaplain, and I saw her there earlier today. So I know that she is there. And also Pauline Duncan Thrasher, who I also saw. So take advantage of prayer. So I'm thinking I might have made an error. I saw Pauline in person, and Sylvia Vanderhook, I believe, is on our Zoom breakout room. And so as we take all of this into prayer this morning, we are just blessed knowing that as we focus on the peace of our hearts, that peace is everywhere in our lives. And as we focus on that, we are grateful. And so it is, and so we let it be. And so this morning, I would like to introduce Peggy Matzer, who will be reading our daily word.
Good morning. The word for today is peace. I choose peace. As I continue on the Advent journey, my thoughts turn to peace. I remember what gives me peace: the beauty of a sunset, a comforting hug, a heartfelt prayer. Those moments, peace encompasses all of my thoughts and feelings, transforming any worries or troubles. I wish to carry that feeling within me always. I realize I do not have to wait for specific experiences to feel peaceful. I have the power to claim peace at all times and in all situations. I affirm that divine peace is greater than any worldly condition. I remain centered and calm, and I don't let minor irritations knock me off center or linger in my awareness. God's peace is my peace forever. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:7. And now it is my pleasure to introduce to you today's speaker, a man who has graced this platform on many occasions and who is a familiar face to most of our congregation. Tony Orvidas is a lifelong student and teacher of spirituality, metaphysics, and abundance manifestations, an experienced mentor, speaker, and trainer, and the author of Using the Law of Attraction. He is also the developer of the Abundance Together blog and has been an active member of Unity of London since 2012. Please help me welcome Tony Orvidas.
Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Alrighty, gotta make sure that this is working. Thanks, Peggy. Good morning, Unity of London. Today my message is, it's all about joy. I'm gonna talk to you about what joy means, how it affects you, how you can bring more of it into your life, and how you can share it. It's rather appropriate for the season, don't you think? Given that many of us will be celebrating Christmas in the next few weeks. And Christmas is all about joy. Joy to the world. Well, what exactly is joy? Where is the source of joy? Why have so many persons been disappointed in their search for joy? Well, according to the dictionary, joy is a feeling of great pleasure and happiness, an emotion of delight or elation caused by something emotionally good, exceptionally good, a feeling of extreme gladness or exaltation of the spirit arising from a sense of well-being or satisfaction. Now, I'll be using the terms happiness and joy interchangeably, even though joy is more of a state of being, while happiness tends to be more of an outward expression of that state. I'll also be referring to a variety of spiritual leaders and their perspectives on joy. Let's start with how the Peanuts gang, Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and the other Charles Schulz characters view happiness. Linus wants to grow up to be happy. But Charlie Brown really isn't sure what happiness is. What is happiness? Are there any side effects? Is happiness the same for everyone? Is it sitting back like Snoopy and watching the leaves fall in the autumn? Or is it a summer flower? Or a snow day off from school? I love those. Maybe it's a cookie. Or perhaps a warm blankie, especially during the wintertime. Or is it something to look forward to with no dread? Maybe your own library card? Or getting grown-up teeth to replace the baby ones you lost? How about good friends? Or being part of the gang here at Unity? A couple of you look familiar there. Maybe it's a warm puppy. or not. Or maybe the pup running to you when you get home from work. Is it loving your enemies and not fighting? Perhaps a sad song. A favorite song? Or dancing to that song? Is happiness anyone or anything loved by you? Or just love in general? Whatever it is, if you're happy and you know it, pass it on. Since happiness, like a warm blankie, should be shared. Unity tells us that metaphysically, joy can be said to be the universal idea of exaltation. It's a spiritual quality expressed through man and woman as an attitude of mind and a buoyant feeling of the heart. Joy is the welling up and bubbling over feeling that you experience when you're in rapport in all ways with life, your fellow human beings, and your God. True joy takes hold of a woman's consciousness when she awakens to the realization of her divine nature and the blessings that accompany that realization. Now, Unity Correspondence School taught that many persons have been disappointed in their search for joy because they have looked outside of themselves for joy, for happiness, not realizing that spiritual fulfillment can come only from the God presence that's within. Not to imply that the things from the outer do not contribute to joy and happiness and well-being. They do, but they take second place. And we are not dependent on them for true and lasting joy. Joy cannot be found without, but comes from within, even though it will express itself through things and circumstances in the outer. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, said this about joy. All healing systems recognize joy as a beneficent factor in the restoration of health to the sick. I do not know how we would get along without a little joy in life. I do not know how we would exist without the humorous side. Somebody has said that nature itself is the great big laugh of God. Everything is smiling, but you have to smile inside yourselves before you can get the smile of God on the outside. What do you think of that? Interesting, eh? Studies show that joyful people have less chance of having a heart attack, maintaining a healthy blood pressure, and tend to have lower cholesterol levels. There's research to prove that joy boosts our immune systems, fights stress and pain, and improves our chance of living a longer life. Now, according to Christiane Northrup, MD, our hormone balance, eyesight, hearing, flexibility, and bone density are all optimal in conditions of joy and pleasure. Joy also helps protect us from heart disease and dementia. When you're experiencing pleasure, your blood vessels release a gas called nitric oxide. Not nitrous oxide, because that's basically laughing gas. Nitric oxide increases your circulation and boosts the production of many neurotransmitters that help your body work and feel better, including beta endorphin, that's the euphoria hormone, and prolactin, the bonding hormone that connects you. Now, isn't that something? Now, in our time of heightened global anxiety in the middle of the pandemic, increasing climate change, the Copenhagen-based Happiness Research Institute opened the world's first museum dedicated to that feeling, the Happiness Museum. Fittingly, the museum is located in Denmark, which currently holds the title of second happiest country in the world. In case you're wondering, the World Happiness Report's been used as a statistical analysis since 2002 to determine the world's happiest countries. In its 2021 update, the report concluded that Finland is the happiest country in the world. How do you think Canada did? Huh? Well, out of 156 countries tracked, Canada came in at number 14. But that's pretty good still, right? Yes. We beat out the States. According to Leo Rutger, co-founder of Christ Life, it's a Roman Catholic ministry, joy and humor are essential to a good life, since being fully alive embraces joy, gladness, smiling, fun, and even silliness. He tells us that the good Pope Francis, in his apostolic exhortation called Rejoice and Be Glad on the Call of Holiness, joy and sense of humor are one of the signs of holiness, especially needed today. Spiritual joy stands in marked contrast to the world's tendency to seek happiness in worldly things. Such things might offer occasional and passing pleasures, but not joy, Francis said. Joy lived in communion shares and is shared. It makes us capable of rejoicing in the good of others. Now, in Buddhism, that is called mudita, a sympathetic joy for joy, spontaneously and sincerely feeling happy for another's good fortune, as it were your very own. As you work at deepening this sympathetic joy, the practice increases your own happiness level. Explaining mudita, the Dalai Lama said, "If I am only happy for myself, many fewer chances for happiness. If I am happy when good things happen to other people, billions more chances to be happy." Unity Minister Reverend Ogum Holder claims joy is the unofficial 13th power, on top of the 12 we know, or inherent spiritual capacity of humans, a creative energy that is fundamental to us all. Thomas Hopper writes about this power of joy, this 13th power. What is joy, he says? Well, we find joy in happy experiences, in our friendships with our loved ones. But joy is a deeper thing than just the result of happy circumstances. If it were only such a result, there would be times, many times, when we would not have joy, and in truth, joy is always ours. A more mature view of joy is that it is a byproduct of serving others, of sharing good. But joy is even more than this. It's not a result of anything, of good deeds, of doing work well, or anything else. Joy is not a result, it is a cause. It can happen to us, but we can also make it happen and make other things happen because of it. Joy is a spiritual principle that we can lay hold of and use. It's a principle we can use all the time, whether outer conditions are as favorable as we would like them to be or not. And if they are not what we wish them to be, we can do more than just put up with them. We can make them improve by using the principle of spiritual joy. Joy is a good influence in any situation, and there are many ways we can express joy. Positive thoughts, pleasant words, just a smile, even just a general use of humor. We cannot wait for circumstances to bring us joy. We must make our own joy and let it act upon the circumstances. One of the paradoxes of truth is that a happy heart draws unto itself all that it needs for happiness. And we can keep our hearts happy by drawing on the wellspring of joy that is part of our spiritual nature. But how do we cultivate joy in the heart? How do we add more joy to our lives? If we want more joy, we must use joy. That's the law of increase. We must lay hold of joy and let it well up from within us through thought, word, and deed or action, I prefer to use. We should use the spiritual way of cultivating joy. We can stop turning our attention so far inward on our own personal universe and its problems. We can turn outward instead to consider others and what we can do for them. When we can bring joy to others, we will find joy ourselves, just like the Dalai Lama said. In the Book of Joy, Lasting Happiness in a Changing World by the Dalai Lama and Archbishop Desmond Tutu, we learn how to cultivate joy. Joy is the reward, really, of seeking to give joy to others. When you show compassion, when you show caring, when you show love to others, do things for others, in a wonderful way, you have a deep joy that you cannot get in any other way. You can't buy it with money. You can be the richest person on earth, but if you only care about yourself, I can bet my bottom dollar you will not be happy or joyful. But when you are caring, compassionate, more concerned about the welfare of others than your own, wonderfully, wonderfully, you suddenly feel a warm glow in your heart because you have, in fact, wiped the tears from the eyes of another. So, joy can be a connection with other people, with nature, and with other beings. It is the wonder, the delight, the welling up of loving energy so that we feel our connection to God in all its forms. That brings forth the light of the soul as joy. Mary Alice and Richard DeFola in The Adventures on the Quest tell us that joy is already ours. It's a gift from God instilled in us at creation. Like love, it's always part of us, always ready to be activated. We don't have to wait for someone to throw our joy switch. We can activate it in ourselves, not because of what's going on in our lives, or even in spite of what's going on, but simply because we are. There is no circumstance that can force you to relinquish your joy. While it may seem absurd to think it's possible to experience joy when a tragedy strikes us, the fact remains that the potential for joy exists in every single moment. It is always we who decide if it will express. It's always our decision. Yet our joy can never be greater than the idea we have of it, simply because joy is an inside job. They go on to say that we can achieve greater joy, greater happiness by striving to make someone else happy. Doesn't really matter what you do or whom you do it to, only that you try to make someone else happy. Don't be limited to those you know or those you love. You can strive to make a stranger happy by letting him or her get ahead of you in the supermarket, or by allowing a car the right of way, by avoiding giving that finger if they cut you off. Give a compliment to your server. Ask a coworker if he or she needs help with a particular problem. You can show more interest in an acquaintance. Just use your imagination. If you're serious about striving to make others happy, you will be shown the way. And so, in closing, joy is your connection to the divine. When you lift up your vibration in joy, the entire universe is lifted along with you. Live in joy. Welcome each day with joy and enthusiasm. Share the joy. Because joy and happiness are two of the most powerful healing medicines in the world. Just like Mr. Fillmore said. Oops. She ain't working. Can you help me out there? Have a happy day. Okay, with that, we'll go into meditation. There we go. We'll initially go and do a guided meditation and then a little bit of silence. Allow your mind to relax, become still. Take a deep breath in. Exhale slowly. Assume a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Be still. Relax. Let my words be yours. It is my mission and my life purpose, this time round, to have fun and to be happy, to experience joy and savor the succulent sweetness of life, to row my boat gently down the stream, to float in the direction of my dreams, and to drift with the current of the divine, to love and to live freely, fully, and completely, to create consciously and live purposefully, courageously, deliberately, to act as a conduit for healing, joy, compassion, peace, abundance, to be an expression and example of forgiveness, gratitude, love, beauty, truth. I eagerly wake up every day feeling vibrant, passionate, and excited about living that purpose, about enjoying everything around me, about leading a fulfilling, fun-filled, happy, productive life. I express gratitude for total joy, peace, and abundance, numerous friends, and much laughter, great wealth and absolute prosperity, a beautiful and welcoming home, excellent physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health, many loving and nurturing relationships, a fulfilling, creative, and fun-filled livelihood, amazing, uplifting life experiences. I now stop to think of the word joy as I continue to inhale and exhale each breath. I take a couple of minutes and allow the feelings of joy to bubble up from deep within me, sweeping through every cell of my body. Gradually return to your awareness, first to your physical body, then to your surroundings. Bring the buoyancy of joy with you. Say to yourself, I am so grateful that I have found inner serenity, that I have found contentment and peace, that I found true joy, happiness, and delight. And so it is, this or something better still, for my highest good and that of everyone around me. Thank you, Spirit. Amen.
So Tony, thank you so much for that inspiring talk today. And, there were lots of things that sort of bubbled up for me in that, in your talk. One is the song, I'm Choosing Joy Today. And so it really is a choice for us. The other thing that I really liked is all the absolute health benefits, holy mackerel. So I guess maybe what I could do to get my cholesterol down a bit is just be more joyful. So I think I'm going to work on that. So lots of good takeaways from that today. And I am grateful and joyful that you presented today. Thank you very much, Tony.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Oh, I'm so grateful. So I'm grateful. Gratitude before me.
All right, well, so this morning we are grateful for Unity of London, and we can express our gratitude and our gratefulness by making a donation or a tithe to Unity of London. So if you like, you can e-transfer your donation to Unity of London at hotmail.com. And we just express our gratitude and our joy for everyone who donates to Unity of London, knowing that those tithes and donations make a difference in the world, that everything that we do goes out to lift up the world and to make it, hopefully, a more joyful place. So the prayer for protection today: the light of God surrounds me. I am the light. The love of joy enfolds me. I am the love. The power of God protects me. I am the power. The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Yay, God. And so now we have our peace song, which during this week of Advent, we want to hold especially in our heart. And so as you go about your week, may you feel the peace of God within you. May you feel the joy of God within you. May you have just an amazing, amazing week. And just a couple of quick announcements. There is a board meeting after this service. And I'd just like to say hello to Ron Gill. I see that his name is on our Unity list today. So Ron, I hope that you're doing well and that you will have a very Merry Christmas and that you will join us as often as you can. So right now we can have a little friendship, fellowship, and if anybody has any comments for Tony about his talk, that would be great. Amber, can you unmute yourself, please?
I sure can. Just wanted to say, Tony, I really, really enjoyed that. And what I took away was that joy and happiness isn't the result. It is the cause. I really like that. Thank you.
Anybody else? George, did you have your hand up there? Oh, Jack? Okay, George, go ahead.
I just enjoyed Tony's talk there, and it just makes you think about a lot of things when somebody else talks and you're just listening and concentrating on it. So thank you.
Okay, Jack?
I'm thinking about Tony, that he always has an inspiring talk about the positive ways. And for myself personally, I find it so much easier to have the joy when you're feeling well. When you're just not up to par, it's amazing how that mood will change in your mind. But it's up to us to make it for your own good. And I've tried to do that, but your mind pulls tricks on you sometimes and pulls you in a different direction. But we have to keep it in mind at all times. It seems like that with the joy, it is so much easier to get through the day. Thanks, Tony. Awesome.
Okay. So is there anyone that is there at Unity that would like to comment on Tony's talk? And if you do, could you please come up to the podium with a microphone so that we can hear you too? Oh, I think I see somebody coming. We'll see. Oh, maybe not. Okay, well, we're really grateful for all of the people there at Unity, including all of the sound people and Lois for lighting the Advent candle, and of course, Tony for your great talks. So thanks very much. Does anybody else here have anything else that they would like to add to what has already been said? Okay, well, if that's the case, then you folks have a peaceful and joyful week, and we'll see you next Sunday. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
You all.
Bye-bye.
So Dave's having surgery on Wednesday.
Good luck, Dave.
He says
Good
in
luck,
a
Dave.
hernia repair.
Good
All the
luck, Dave.
best. All the
Thank
best.
you.
We'll pray for you.
Thank you.
Is Teresa at Nelson Street, Jack?
Teresa's
She
at
is.
Unity. She's
Yeah.
in the Unity
I'll
church
give her
room.
the microphone.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's good to see you on, Jack. You did it.
Catherine, I'm here.
Oh, hi, Teresa. Hi, Teresa. I see Jack's flying solo on the computer this morning. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, oh, he's doing okay. Yes.
That's awesome. All
And
right.
we had a nice service here this morning, so it's good. Now we're gonna go to the board meeting.
How many people are there, Teresa?
I think there is 11 today.
Oh,
11.
that's great.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
That is great. All right. Well, have a really good, positive meeting.
There's 12. There's 12. Okay. Thanks,
Okay.
Catherine.
Bye, everybody.
You all.